All right guys, welcome to Driver's Therapy. In today's video, we're gonna be answering the question, who is the best Acura NSX mechanic? Well, we could use any word you want, mechanic, technician, guru, master, whichever one you want. But in this video, we're gonna try to find the answer to that question. So real quickly, we could end the video because I could tell you I'm the best mechanic for the NSX, but that's not true because I don't know that car well enough as far as the mechanical internals and all that. Not only that, I'm not a big fan of working on cars. So, I mean, I'm not. It's like as I get older, I'd rather somebody else do it. And that's why I'm kind of making this video, because maybe there's somebody out there who's also looking for the right recommendation or a lead on who is the best guy in the community or out there in the US for the NSX. So since the US is very big, it's actually really big compared to like a lot of countries, I just realized that. I know I'm digressing, but since the country is so big, we're gonna break it down right in the middle and we're gonna talk about the best mechanic in the East Coast and best mechanic on the West Coast. I might have gotten those backwards. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and break down some criterias. Essentially, they just have to have been known or just have a great reputation working on the NSX. And I'm gonna lay something out that's gonna get a lot of people upset, and they can't work at a dealership solely. And let me tell you why. I've worked at a Ferrari dealership. I'm an AC certified master tech. I've worked in the automotive industry, and nobody can call themselves the best Acura NSX technician working at a dealership. And let me tell you why. At a dealership, they work from a book or now a digital software that tells them that they have a certain amount of time to complete that job, and they're only gonna get paid for that amount of time that's in that book. So people have to rush at dealerships. They don't have the time to take it slow, take it methodical, take it easy, and take it nice and easy and do an amazing job on whatever job they're doing, because in dealerships, they're always rushing people. So if a person works out of their own garage, if they have their own shop or anything like that, those are the type of individuals I'm looking for, and essentially that I think can really hold the reins for the best technician for the NSX. Now, this is really not going to apply for the NC1 because the NC1 has their own like certified technicians for the NC1 that are dealerships. So that makes sense that, you know, it's going to be solely at a dealership. So we're strictly going to stick to the first generation of the NSX for this context. But I'm sure there's some awesome technicians at dealerships. It's just, it is what it is. That's the criteria. So anyways, let's talk about my nomination. I'm so bad because I butcher everybody's name. I'm not sure if you've seen, I'll skip that. It's a funny video. But anyways, my nomination is gonna be for Joe Guterri. I hope I pronounced that right. But anyways, the reason why is because for a long time now, for a couple years, which is a long time for me, I've been watching him post on different forms of the projects that he's had. I've had nothing but good things said about him. He is a true professional who's done the hardest of the hardest stuff, ABS swaps, I mean, you name it, AC unit rehauls. I mean, he is literally taking apart an NSX every day or every weekend, and every time he presents his work, it just looks professional. He takes pride in it, and if I was closer to him, I would definitely take my NSX to him. Now, when it comes to certain areas, you know, like let's say like Charles with the NSX rack repair, he would be like my #1 rack repair guy. But as far as somebody who's constantly working on NSXs, Joe Guterri is going to be my pick all day long. Well, guys, he's an East Coast guy and I'm a West Coast guy. And I have no idea of anybody in the West Coast who is an awesome NSX technician. Now, I've heard through different types of discussions at NS Expo and just generally talking with people that there's some serious NSX gurus out there. And anyone who wants to stay hidden, who considers themselves the best technician, really doesn't make sense because, you know, it's a business. If you want business, you're gonna want the NSXs. So it's kind of, yeah, I want to know the guys who want to be known and who want business. So I don't want to hear about the urban story about some guy in the redneck woods who has built NSX motors with his eyes closed. I want to hear people who are actively taking on clients, actively working on the NSX, and actively excited to share that and excited to bring in new people and new NSX owners and help them out with it. So I don't have a West Coast nomination or nominee guy or whatever. So what we're gonna do is, after you guys post who you think is the best technician for the NSX for the East Coast and West Coast, whoever has the most amount of mentions, we're gonna send him 4 of these coasters with the NSX logo. Let me show you what we got here. This is from Charles with NSX Rack Repair, and he made these for me, which are super cool. They're 3D printed. His son made them. And what we're gonna do is, whoever's the best, we're gonna send these out because I want them to be recognized, and I also want them to know that, hey, you know, like, your community picked you. So we're gonna get them 4 each, one for the East Coast and one for the West Coast. So I'm curious to hear who you guys recommend. Again, if a guy works at a dealership, but he does stuff at home or at his own shop, you can nominate him. It's just, we don't want a sole dealership guy. That's just not gonna cut it. All right, guys, let me know what you think. I'm excited to hear. You take care, and we will see you soon.